This episode I want to show you how to build a blaze farm in the Nether. This is the tower that I started in the last episode. Night's now fallen, so I'll just switch back to survival mode. So we're back on to normal mode survival. Let's go up. Okay, so the idea is that I put these fences round. This is not what the turtle put in. I've added these manually because I kept falling off the edge. That's because I'm not a very good player. But I'm now looking for any endermen. Ah, there's one. So what I'm going to do is to try and attract his attention. Yep, he saw me. I'm fairly short. So how this works is that if there's no endermen around, you go up. Typically I heard him just as I dived in here. Right, so I'm at level 208, so everything has disappeared in the mobs. We'll go back down. Down here. And hopefully there'll be at least one enderman somewhere down here. Right, a couple of endermen. Let's see if we can get them to see me. Oh, excellent. Good. 4 eyes. Excellent. Let's see if I can get a few more. Come on then. Come on. He'll be on his way. There we are. Okay, getting a bit low on health, but I've got 4 eyes. So that shows you the principle of how this thing works. So we've got it high enough up to take us out of the mob spawning mechanics of the game by taking us over 128 blocks high, then dropping back again and they reappear. So I'll call it a day for now how the tower works. We now need to get some blaze rods, so we'll go back into creative mode and go and get us some blaze rods using the turtle. After that we can go and I've already found a stronghold. Use the turtle to strip resources out of the stronghold. So just going to stop off at home to show you how many, because I've already built, done some mining in the Nether, and I've got 37 pieces of ancient debris from 18 separate farms, so that's roughly 2 per farm. So let's show you those. Now I'm in creative, but I've left the settings at normal for the amount of mobs, so that they will appear. Right, so I've boxed this in because I'm a coward and I don't like being attacked by things. Let's go down here. Right, so I used the turtle to create, this is one farm here, and then through 18 farms here. I've gone into creative just so we can whiz through these as quickly as possible. So you can see each farm is 33 by 33 long, and I just did them sequentially So I'll edit this out in a second so that we get back to the front. Right, we're nearly at the end of the run of 18 farms. Right, so we'll go up this point here. Right, so this is a blaze farm built using one of the turtles. I'm just going to minimize the sound levels from the hostile creatures. We'll drop that right down so that they're in the background. Otherwise it makes it impossible. So the way this one works, I know I'm in creative, but the same principles apply. Is that you can go up on the sides here and see the blazes through these slots and then shoot them. There's a blaze rod there. There we go, that'll do. And then there's a button here which sends this minecart which chases around and picks up the blaze rods, and I walk around the edge and pick up the experience points. So I'll wait for that to return and see what goodies we've got. Okay, it only picked one, but then I wasn't shooting that many, but that's how it works. So we'll now go and show you how the turtle builds when I found another spawner just over the way here. Let's just fly over there to save time. And there we are, that's the spawner. I've already put a chest aside with some goodies in it, ready for it. So same principle as before, we put a turtle, Miner 4, that was the one that's got the most up-to-date software in it. And then, as before, Toolkit, oops. Now this was where I was just doing the last bit of debugging. I've left a symbol in here. What was it? 2377. There you go. Save. And we'll retry that. That's better. So we want the mob farm tools, and this time we're going to create the blaze farm around the spawner, which is now number 5. So it's similar to number 1 initially, but there are serious differences, as you can see. So paste me in contact with the spawner, which I've done, enter, and then it needs a bunch of cobble. So let me go and fetch those. Right, so 640, which is 10 stacks, so we'll put those in. And then it should want just one slab. Right, so this is very similar to the mob farms that you saw before on the overworld. So this bit is identical, it's building a cube that will go all the way round. So I'm not going to bore you with seeing the whole thing. This is absolutely identical to what you saw before. The only difference will be is that it will need to take out these fencing here and obviously clear the floor. So I'll stop and start the video as we get to different stages that might be of interest to you. Okay, ceiling's nearly complete. Most of the overground spawners do have some kind of, usually underground, so this one's slightly unusual, but the principle's exactly the same. So we'll pause again and come back when it's got down to these levels here. So it's now going to do the second layer there. Okay, so it's now taking out some of the nether brick fencing that surrounds the mob spawner here, same as it would any other type of block. So it just does an extra ring around. It used to do on the overground ones that outer ring there, but it's taken it one further in just to get make sure it doesn't miss anything here. Back again. Right, this is where it differs slightly from doing the overworld. Now it's doing a continuous backward and forward pass across not just the entire floor, but also the outer walls, so that anything that's in the way here, not just up to the wall but under it as well, is removed, and it does that for 3 blocks down. So I'll get back to you once it's completed that. Right, it's just finished its 3rd layer of cutting below the chamber. There's the spawner. Chamber above it is complete. So now it's going to start building the floor of this chamber, which is much wider. I can just go off and explore that for you. So we're now building outside a ring right the way around, so that the chamber can then later be completed down here. But you've got this walk round ring, which is where you stand to fire your arrows at the blazes. I've turned those off by putting it on peaceful mode, just so you can see what's going on. If you're doing this in survival mode, getting the turtle on top of the cage is hazardous. So if you don't want to put it in peaceful, as I would normally do, then you'd have to run in, bang it on, and try and get the supplies in there as quickly as you can. Once you've done that, you can just retreat and leave the turtle to get on with it. It'll do all its stuff without your interference until it gets to completing this lower chamber. Then you'll see we have to come back to it, because there are a lot more supplies that we need to add in. So I'll pause at this point and come back when we're at the next significant stage. Right, we're just coming up to the completion of this outer ring wall here. So then it'll start to fill in the floor. It's been programmed to use nether brick if available, which they nearly always are. So we get a nice contrasting floor there. So this is a straightforward up, turn, down, turn, etc. until it's completed the floor. So I'll come back to that when it's done. Just show you how it does the left turn and then continues down here. Right, it's on the last run of the floor. When it gets to this point here, it'll turn round, come to about here, sort its inventory, then ask for more supplies. So I'm going to right click on it as soon as it turns and goes up. There we are. So it's going through, sorting out all the inventory. And it's now asking for supplies. So I'll pause at this point and go and fetch what's required. Right, so I got all the stuff from the chest which was outside. So we'll just add that to it. 36 slabs. powered rail, ordinary rail. I just need one more. 2 redstone, okay. Hopper. We don't need the soul sand, so I'll put the stone button in. That should be it. Okay, so it should now start to build the railway. This has proved to be quite tricky because if you're not careful, the rail starts to go off on its own accord and bends in all kinds of directions that it's not supposed to. So in order to make it snake round, as you see here, I've had to do a couple of things. First one, as you can see, I started the rail here rather than here. That allows me to put a bend here. When it gets to this end, the bend is shorter than this one, so that they don't switch positions here, and a similar pattern all the way along. So I'll come back as soon as it's finished doing the railway. Right, so it's on the final run of the railway line now, so it'll put 3 more powered rails in, a block and a redstone torch, and now it'll start to lay the floor. Let me just get out of the way. So it's going to lay the floor above with nether brick again, so that the rail trucks will pass underneath here with a hopper minecart and collect any drops from inside and allow you to walk past. So again, I'll wait until it gets back to here before you can see it. So far this track looks perfectly okay, so it's done its job without breaking up. Now you can see it's running on the last bit here. It ran out of nether brick, which is why it's changed to cobble. And now it's going to put down the block there and a button to control. Now to get the minecart in, it has to drop it from that way and then place a block from the side. It's the only way it works with a turtle, but it seems to have been successful. So we've now got this block and the rail running hopefully perfectly normal. Yep. Looks like we're putting, oh yes, we're putting half slabs in at the moment under here, and then a solid block on the corner. This is so that when I'm standing on here, I'll get a half slab slit running round the base. So once it's done this, it'll put the cobble in round the rest of it here. Right, so now it's filling in this part, so if we go up to watch as it does, there we are, that's our slit. This wall has to be built up yet, so that you can view it at this kind of angle. It's going backwards because it's easier to place, you can't place blocks behind you, but if you run backwards you can put them in front of you. That is why it's important to make sure that this area was clear of any blocks before that was done. Okay, so we can now start to go up and build the ceiling, which will go round here to protect us from the elements up there. Let's see how that's doing. It should, once, if it comes across any blocks that are in the way, like here, it should destroy those as it goes. So it'll be interesting to see if it does work. Right, I might as well keep it viewing for the time being. You can see you've got a good view over the killing zone there. Yep, it's breaking the ones below as well, which is great. Good. Next it should do the second layer of the ceiling, and at the same time the outer edge. So this is kind of the reverse of what it did on the bottom here. So this time it's putting a block above and to its left hand side as it goes along. Although you can't see it, it's also digging below just in case there was anything down below. We might be able to fall that into yeah, that shows you how it breaks the one below. This one of course would have already have been broken when it did the bottom section. Okay, so we'll come back to that once it's reached back to this corner here, and then all that's left is to fill in the walls, so we're not far from finishing. Right, we're on the final run of that outer wall. This was the original entrance to this area, so I'll have to re-break that once it's done its job. In fact, I'll do that now so we can get back up there. There we go, so we've got a stairway back up. Right, now it's going to do the next row down and at the same time build up this second wall. The only thing I didn't get it to do was to place a block automatically in this corner, which you'll need to use to go up onto this level, and the same applies for here and here and here. So if you place those manually, then everything's in working order as soon as it's come back to this point here, and we know that the rail cart already works. So we can even start getting the blazes on now. If I just switch back to normal there. This seems to be pretty safe in survival mode. You very rarely get hit by a fireball in this position here. Just go and start the see what we've gathered here. Yep, already one. Let's run it round again, and we'll walk round the outside, and we're gathering not only, we've also managed to gather another blaze rod, I think, by just walking around it, and it's just on its final stages there now. So we might as well continue to shoot while we're waiting for it to finish. Get out of the way. Access being filled in again, so we'll just clear that just for the hell of it. And there we are, it's come to the end. So it's done a good job on working our blaze farm for us. I just want to finish getting, I've got 16 blaze rods, I'm repairing my tools and things, so I'm just going to finish off in survival mode. I'll probably run out of arrows now, but I think we'll head back now to start raiding the stronghold. Let's just get whatever's left here. Yep, as you can see, plenty of points coming in. Just wait for the cart. That'll do nicely. Excellent. See you at the stronghold.